everybody. Today is day 7 in the trial for Karen Read. And the first person that they have on the stand today is Michael Camerato. Michael, he's friends with John O'Keefe and his children and John's niece and nephew who John was raising, are good friends. So this is like the first friend I put in quotes of John's. And I say in air quotes because several of the first responders were friends as well with John. So this is the first of the friends that were not within the first responders. Michael and John's kids are friends and they play sports together and hang out a lot. And this particular night, the night in question when John died, Michael and John went to a bar, and Michael ended up having to leave after being there for a while because his son was in a sporting accident, so he had to leave the bar that night. However, before he left, Karen did arrive, and when she did arrive to the bar to be with John, they hugged, they kissed, and just continued their night as a normal couple. Michael was saying that they are friends and hung out together every week. Michael was asked how he observed their relationship, if John ever complained to him about Karen. And he said no, the only thing he ever complained about was that Karen spoiled the kids, which were John's niece and nephew, by taking them to Dunkin' Donuts and to get their nails done. So he said he never noticed any kind of fighting between them or heard John mention anything about it. After this testimony, the next person on the stand was Catherine Camerato, which would be Michael's wife. She described Michael and John's relationship as close, that they were like a well-oiled machine, in reference to them taking the kids to different sporting practices, I guess, or games. Catherine was at work this particular night. She had received a call from Karen. She described it as frantic, and Karen was hysterical. Karen called and kept saying, "Where is Michael? Where is Michael?" She also said that John didn't come home. Catherine was at work because she works as a nurse at a hospital, and she works the night shift, so that's where she was when she received the call. We're now with the witness of Kurt Roberts. And so I will watch his testimony and give you a summary. So as we saw that Kurt Roberts was now called onto the stand, he has known John since the 6th grade, so quite a long time. Kurt Roberts was also one of the people at the bar with Michael and John the night in question. He didn't stay a whole long time. He said about an hour because he wanted to get back home before the snowstorm came. Kurt was also, I forgot to also mention that Karen was also at the bar at that time as well. He talked with her for a while, and he said he didn't notice her slurring her speech or seem to be like intoxicated or anything of that sort, but she was having a drink. Kurt said that once he left, he went home and went to sleep sometime later and was waking up in the morning from his wife's phone. He heard a voice yelling on his wife's phone, and he learned later that it was Karen yelling, Karen Read. And Miss Roberts, Kurt's wife, left the house to go be with Karen, and she came home around 8 a.m. He knew Karen for about a year or two, and Karen used to pick up the Roberts kids. And that's pretty much it with that witness. We now have Rebecca Traers on the stand.
And where is it that you work as well?
Waterfall Bar and Grill.
So she is the bartender at the bar that all of this took place at. Rebecca Traers just informed us that she works at that bar. She has seen these characters, these individuals in the bar before, and she didn't notice anyone over intoxicated or overserved alcohol. Okay, and now we have a new person on the stand, so let's see who he is.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Would you please state your name and spell your last name?
It's Nicholas Kolokithas, Kolokithas.
And where do you live?
Canton.
And how long have you lived?
21 years.
And with anyone do you live in Canton?
My wife and 2 children.
So we'll find out what his testimony is about. Okay, so the next one on the stand is that Nicholas, and he is an attorney. His wife is a pharmacist, and they are both friends with John O'Keefe. Their children also play with John's. They were also at the same bar the night in question, and Nicholas was asked if he saw any kind of fight or arguing between Miss Reed and John, and he said no. In fact, they're actually really affectionate, and his own wife had made a comment to him that why was he not that affectionate with her. He also has stated that he remembers Miss Reed singing John's praises, just really saying how great of a father he is to those children, and the fact that he sacrificed his own freedom to raise his niece and nephew. Okay, right now they're pulling someone else on the stand.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name? Sure.
It's Karina Kolokithas, Kolokithas.
Okay, Karina. This is Nicholas's wife, the attorney that was just on the stand. This is now his wife. Okay, that was a rough day, but we finally got through the day 7 of the trial. It ended with Karina. She didn't have anything negative to say about Karen Reed. She said that if anything, Karen was always kind and always complimented John and herself. She also witnessed Karen Reed at the bar that night as well. That's the end of day 7. We will continue this with day 8.